time. Um, but as you see, we're repping our Janet shirts. We have to help us talk about this momentous occasion and what went down in our individual takes of what we thought about the documentary.
It's
One
Janet
of our
herself.
It's Janet herself, our special and OG. Welcome back. What's up? What's up,
Hey,
Circle?
how you doing?
I'm good. Happy New Year. And I say that
Yes.
I'm being sarcastic.
I
Yesterday was
know.
literally the Chinese Lunar New Year. So, what's up? How are you?
I'm doing good. You know, just chilling. Being
Lift,
me.
lift your titties up so they can see.
Yes.
Rep of Janet Jackson.
Yeah. Mhm.
The Janet Jackson crew is here now. Okay, so let's get into it. We want to talk Janet. We've been talking about since last year when we found out that this documentary was going to come out. What's your take? What's your take, Melody? We'll start with you ladies first. What was your take on this documentary?
Honestly, I feel like I have more questions. I had questions before I watched it. I have more questions after. And I feel like who the fuck produced this freaking documentary? Because the vibe
Janet
that I
and
got.
Randy.
Yes,
Other
well, they
people,
fucked
but
up.
Janet and Randy.
They fucked it up because the vibe that I got when they initially started was like they're gonna do a rundown, they're gonna talk about what happened, blah blah blah. Like they're gonna go deep. They didn't acknowledge the Super Bowl thing. They never even explained how it happened or why it happened. She like spoke about her relationships, which we all knew. She chooses people that have issues, but I don't.
Go ahead, sorry.
She has daddy issues. She chooses guys that control her or like have, I don't know, made her put her in a place of naiveness or innocentness. I don't know. I liked it and I enjoyed it. And she's black. She's the original Black Girl Magic. And I've always loved Janet Jackson because she's always made people, especially females of color, feel like they can be sexy too. It's not just a blonde bimbo up there that can do it. But I don't know. That documentary, it didn't really answer any questions for me.
What do you feel, Shawn? What did you take out of it? What was your
See,
moment?
I had a different take on it. It was like really. You could tell it was like Janet's point of view. This is what Janet wanted to talk about, and the Super Bowl. It was an accident. She knew it was an accident. You all knew it was an accident.
But how is it an accident?
No,
you knew your nipple was exposed, and he knew like to rip it off. Like, just say, look, we just wanted to do it as a gimmick, and like we thought it would be funny. But you guys took it wrong.
Whether it was like planned or not planned, but it wasn't planned for the nipple to come out. The plan was never for the whole nipple to come out. Wherever plan she had,
that was a cheap ass.
That was not the plan. That was not the plan. And it was accident. She was done talking about it. She didn't want to talk about it no more. It was a big. She would never do that. Everybody knows she'd never do that. You can tell like her becoming more sexual wasn't just her idea. It was her husband's.
Her then husband at the time.
Yeah.
No, he's oversexed.
Now, with that said, there was a few things. Okay,
and
go ahead.
Also, what I liked, it really showed like how it gave me a different point of view of the father, because all the documentaries I watched about the father, they made him seem like such a horrible like father, like just like pushing them. Mm-hmm. He's all about the money and stuff like that. He made him seem like he was like a Ike Turner, but of the Michael Jackson type of thing. But it showed like they had a different. Their relationship was actually different. And actually, Michael actually was like towards the end of his life was actually talking to his father and his mother, and they were all together and stuff.
It's sad to
Yeah.
hear that he died in Vegas because that's where we met him,
Yeah,
Charlie.
we met Joe Jackson. I have a
in the
picture with
airport.
him.
Me
Yeah,
too.
Melanie met him too. You and I were flying back up to wherever we were going back to New York, and yeah, we met him. We met Joe freaking Jackson, like the guy who fucking made Michael Jackson and Janet Jackson. Like that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I would never forget that.
I will say one thing that I did enjoy, as much as people give him shit, and I don't give a fuck. I love him to death. My Aquarius brother, Justin Timberlake. I feel like a lot of people wanted to make him the perpetrator and make him look like the bad guy, but I genuinely think that he felt really bad, being that he called her and wanted to take
and she
blame.
was just like, no, don't say nothing.
And when he got invited to do the Super Bowl again, he asked her to come on as his guest, and she declined because she didn't want to deal with CBS. But like anyone else that didn't want to admit responsibility or anything, they wouldn't have done that. They would have just been like, oh well, she got it. Oh well, that's not my problem. So I think that a lot of people
no, the whole story is she apologized once before, and they wanted her to grovel and apologize again.
True.
Yeah.
To the owner and pay.
Let's move.
And it's like, what, she's doing all this other jumping through all these hoops.
Yep.
And
yeah, you know.
What? If you don't accept my first apology, then why am I gonna go? I'm not gonna grovel.
Yeah, Les Moonves is an egomaniac, egotistical bastard, and look at how karma came to not knocking at his door a few years ago, where he stepped down as the president or whatever the hell he was from CBS. So funny how karma came knocking on your door, you asshole. Mm-hmm. But my take on Janet Jackson's thing, real quick. I love Janet. Listen, I had some moments especially being in Jamaica while watching this. I had some moments because Janet Jackson's a tourist, like my mom, and I know I'm not everyone's into astrology or whatever, but there were some key points and key moments that she said that made me emotional. That I felt like I was watching that, and through Janet, it was like a message sent through me through my mom. It was just certain things of how Janet spoke about the last time she was with her father. It's just certain things that just made me cry, tear up and cry some tears, but tears of joy, because it felt like I was getting a message through some of the things she was saying, as corny as it sounds. So I enjoyed aspects of that. It was like a roller coaster. I enjoyed that because I feel like I was getting things. But then there was moments, like I feel like I have questions still answered. I felt like a little, like the cup wasn't all the way filled for me. I still have questions. She did not talk about her billionaire. She didn't talk about her baby daddy, first of all. Her billionaire ex-husband. She didn't talk about him.
I think that was just.
Listen, but the thing is,
it was just so new, and I feel like they have something
still going on.
No, some kind of clause where
maybe. But my thing is like
she's never really mentioned it. Even in interviews, she never mentioned him.
One of the revealing things for me that was like, whoa, was when she spoke about DeBarge. What's his whole name?
James DeBarge.
James DeBarge.
Yeah.
And their relationship and what she went through with that. I was shocked and surprised.
Let me tell you something about the DeBarge family, because I love DeBarge. That family could have gone places. They could have been like the Jacksons, and they were actually like almost up there with the Jacksons. But people talk shit about Joe Jackson. The father of the DeBarge family was a million times worse. He molested the kids. He gave them drugs. He took all their money. Like, it was bad. And that's why they all did drugs too, because they obviously dealt with this growing up. And they were in a sexually abusive, verbally, physically abusive family. And yeah, so I'm not surprised when she said that she got left in a hotel for hours and hours and hours.
The first night of marriage,
night of marriage, I'm not surprised, because obviously he's gonna do drugs. Just the anxiety of knowing, like, I have to perform with her, and the only time I have sex is with basically with his father. Like, he's been sexually abused. So I'm not surprised, but that is fucking sad. If you read about the DeBarge family, you'll see like it's horrible.
Well, to focus on her, I was surprised that she was like, and she said it. She had, and you said it earlier too. She had a thing for men with issues that like drugs to try to save them. She admitted that, and to me, I was like, that was a big out of the document, out of the 4 hours. That was a moment where I was like, whoa, whoa. Then the relationship with Renee Elizondo was explored as well. Where I thought I was like, he's a little controlling. I see what they I seen that, but I also heard of that because after she divorced him, it's like you kind of knew about that. The Jermaine Dupri thing, I was surprised that little.
I love
your
them together.
ugly ass cheated. Yeah, ugly ass.
It goes to show, even the ugly men are out here running amok. No one's safe. Go ahead, girl.
Charlie, doesn't he remind you of Dennis McKinley? Like all those Atlanta guys are all fucking players. Bitch, I kept looking at him and I was like, yo, he reminds me of Dennis McKinley.
Dennis at least is tall.
But you have this fine ass woman who's independent, smart, makes her own money, and like down for your midget ass, and you're over here playing her, cheating on her because women were attracted to the fact that I was with Janet. Duh, like they want to be up your ass and they want to be able to throw it out there and say, hey, I was with this guy who's actually dating Janet Jackson.
Yeah.
Oh, guys are so dumb.
So he
Sorry,
said it,
guys in the comments.
He said it. He was like, yeah, I never got this attention before. And I'm like, throw out your insecurities. Let's show the world how insecure you were. That because you were dating Janet, you finally started getting this attention. Like,
what an idiot.
That sent me that part too. I'm like this fucking rat. Little rat at that.
And I just love the relationship between her and Michael. And
but you know what?
I hated that like during Scream, like she wanted it to be
that was weird.
Like a coming together type of thing, and the record labels made it like a competition.
Yep.
Well, that's what happens when you have people around you.
If you was listening to like the footage of him talking to her in the background about the song, he's like, oh, I want that Black Cat energy. I'm like, wow, he really listened to her albums, and it was like, I want this song to kind of be like Black Cat. That song, Black Cat.
You noticed that he cursed. You noticed that he cursed, and she was like effing, like she wouldn't curse too. God, she's so like demure.
But really quick, while we're on Michael and Janet's story, another shock point was that she, and a lot of people I'm sure don't know this because it was a surprise to me, she lost her Coca-Cola deal that she had. We know that Michael Jackson had his Pepsi deal, and he got paid for his Pepsi deal. But poor Janet was working on her Coca-Cola deal and lost it because then the allegations, the first round of allegations with Michael Jackson, the whole molestation thing came out back then. So she lost the deal because of what was going on with Michael. So I felt for that too.
She suffered a lot because of
pushed them away from each other. Yeah, but that's another thing. I think that's what drove a wedge between them too. Yeah. And for Brian, who's asking if it's on Hulu, it's not on Hulu. It's on A&E and the Lifetime channel. But if you don't have those channels like me, go on Twitter. Is it on Twitter that I found it? Actually, you can go on A&E's
it's on Prime website if you pay for A&E.
Yeah, you can go on the website too, and it's free.
But yeah,
I'm glad I saw it. I mean, it was great to see someone. It was very nostalgic to see someone from our childhood. Yeah. As much as I wish there were more questions that
I wanted more. I felt like I needed a little more.
4 parts. It was like
that little tease of a new album.
They did the tease. Well, yeah, I heard the tease, like the song thing, but overall, like
Black Diamond.
Really quick, Shawn, and to Melanie, because we brought up Justin Timberlake as well. What I also took away from this is Janet Jackson's a fucking class act. She is classy. Because she could have used this moment to be like, yeah, Justin did me wrong, blah, blah, blah. Because listen, we already seen the Hulu documentaries and New York Times Presents that, backed her up. And in general, we know like how fucked up it was back then, and like 2000 something when this happened. So much has progressed. We know Les Moonves is a freaking asshole. So the fact that Janet got screwed back then, like we feel for her, and now in a progressive newer world, it's like we're rooting for her. But the fact that she could have taken this chance to like be like, yeah, Justin is a scumbag, but she didn't, and she basically defended him and was like, I told him not to say anything. But I was shocked. I was like, girl, really?
Me too.
Like,
Me too.
really? This is your chance, like at least defend, like something like.
No,
That's all we ever say.
she'll never do that.
But that goes to show she's a class act. And as much as I wanted more from that, like, give me more of what happened. Whose fault? How did you feel that Justin still went to the Grammys and won a Grammy that night and all this stuff? And yet you got. I wanted to know more, but again, that other part of me was like, yo, she's a classy lady, and I respect that. I respect that.
What's
Well,
your favorite?
and I did respect that Jermaine Dupri took himself out of the
the board, the board
board
of the Grammys.
Yeah, I respect that too. He stepped down from the board of the Grammys.
Yeah.
The Grammys, wanted to
The
shut
less
her
he
up.
could do, the
Mhm.
least he could do. Shit.
I know, right? After cheating on her. What was he going to ask, Melanie, to wrap this up?
I was gonna say, to wrap it up, what from the songs that they were talking about, what is your favorite like Janet Jackson song of all time?
Shawn, you're the Janet fan, so we'll let you go first.
Well, actually, we don't have to do a song. We could just do album if you want. Album or song?
Okay.
Well, albums and song Control. Especially now that I watched this documentary, because it really like her father was like proud of her for
Control.
doing that album Control, and he was really proud that he did that, and they all listened to it, and they all like their whole family was like proud of her, and because other documentaries made it seem like she had to like sneak around and make this album, and she released it, and it was like this big thing, controversy in the family, but now you hear it from her, it's like, oh wow, they were all really, really supportive.
For me, I would have to say the shirt y'all wearing, that album cover, Velvet Rope. I remember being younger. I was like 11, 10 when the album, 11 or 12 when the album came out. Again, my mom played a lot of music in the house as well. And I remember having that cassette bootleg. And I loved it from the opening to Velvet Rope. And that was a huge album for her. She had I Get Lonely, a big hit for her. She had On and On, We Seem to Go.
Again.
No, and again, I See You Again, which I was listening to that this weekend. And
Together Again.
Together Again. I thought of my mom. Like that was a great album. That was a big album. A big album for her. So that's my favorite Janet album. Velvet Rope.
Same for me.
Velvet Rope was my favorite. But